Yeah.
So for some reason, man, I can still see a bead of sweat going down his neck. I can still smell it. I can still see it. I can feel it. For some reason, I was like, there's too many people here. And it's like I heard this voice. I got this feeling. I can't even describe what I got. It was like everything wrapped into one saying, get away, get out.
Like an intuition?
Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. Something that said, get away from where you are right now and go back behind that wall you just came from. And that is not me. I've never done it before, besides that one time that I can remember. I've always had to be there, especially when we got to deal with some stuff. We got to work, I'm ready to work. I want to work. Something told me, so I told Louis, I was like, hey man, I'm going to go back behind the wall. We got too many guys up here. And I'm like, are you good? He's like, I got this, bro. Like, I'll see you in a few. I was like, all right, dude, I love you. You know, we do our like little, I love you, brother. So I like had my arm on him, on that shoulder. I rolled out. As soon as I button hooked that wall out that gate and made that turn where I was covered, the house exploded. And it wasn't a baby explosion. Half the house was gone. That team that was on this side was covered, blew a couple guys out 30, 50 feet against the backside of the wall, which I was behind. Dudes were covered in rubble. And I was like, what the heck? I got hit with debris on the back of the helmet. Nothing compared to what these guys did. The dust, couldn't see anything. Like everything was just gone. It was like what you would hear the fog of war. It was the first time I was like, wow, this is the real deal. Like I was just discombobulated, didn't know what's going on. I didn't know what way was up, down, left, right. Didn't know. I finally, got my bearings, wrapped back around, and like I remember I'm in the middle of this courtyard, and the dust is just settling, and I'm like, what I left and what I saw were two different things, two different pictures. And I felt something on my foot. I'm like, man, what the heck? And it was our dog, Digo. He was buried, and the only thing that was sticking out was his mouth. And he latched onto the first thing that came, and that was my foot. So I ripped out my my hiking boots out of his mouth and went back to where I thought Louis was, and he was gone. And I'm like, what the heck? And there was one of our augments was over on the side, and I saw him like, what's going on? Do you have Louis? And he's like, yes. And Louis was underneath this slab. And so like there was a hole held up by some rubble, some rock, some boulders from the house. And we're crawling in there trying to grab him. We can reach like his calf to try to grab some fabric to like pull him out. And when I grabbed his calf, it felt like Jell-O. There was no bone structure. It was like when that thing fell, it folded him like an accordion and took out, pretty much shattered all bone. It didn't feel like a leg. It felt like a Jell-O mold.
Damn.
Or putty. And he was stuck under there and we couldn't get him out. And fortunately, the guys inside the building died. I think there were some random shots by our snipers doing containment stuff. But we finally got him out. Our PJs came over with our, I think they're called Sava or Savvy. I talk about a little bit more detail in here. But they lifted it up, got his body out, and we just started exfilling. I think by Bradley, I think the QRF came and exfilled out. And to this day, I'm like, man, what if I didn't come over that radio and say, move up? Would he be here? Why did I hear that voice and he didn't? I'm no different than him. Why? These are questions that I somewhat still answer or ask myself is why did I hear that? Why did I tell him to go over? And yeah, it's been a tough one.